that I wanted to call it a quits because, you know, of the things.
He didn't want to. He did.
I mean, I left so many times.
Not left. Kicked
I mean,
me. No. Say what it is. He kicked me out.
I kicked them out.
So because in the beginning we were mostly because I did have my own apartment, but because I was like mostly with him because the people that because I just kind of became more closer to the people from like school, and because he was in student housing, it was just kind of easier. So I was just always over at his because student housing for our school were apartments. They got apartments at apartment complexes, and it was just And then I lived so far away from school because I was in Decatur at the time. Our school was in Sandy Springs, so it was just easier for me to commute back and forth from school being there because there was a shuttle to take you back and forth. At the time, we didn't have cars. We were in school and struggling. So, I was just over at his place most of the time. And then when he would get upset, he would literally just
go home,
break up with me and told me to go home. And me, I'm not the type of person to be anywhere where I don't want to be, where I'm not wanted. So I would pack my stuff.
He'll pack it all the way out. I'll wait till he go to the bus
Wait
stop.
till I get to the door or to the bus stop or on the way to the bus stop and tell him, ask me, where am I going? I said, you told me to leave. He has kicked me. He got a car before I did. He has kicked me out of his car.
Hey.
He literally left me somewhere one time. But he came back.
I did.
He came back like 15 minutes later. Like, I think he literally stopped the car and waited 15 minutes and came back and got me.
I was like, wow, such an asshole move.
If your love story had a title, what would it be named?
It would be, I would say not an average love story. Because, I mean, honestly, nothing about our entire relationship is average. Like, we didn't do anything normal. Nothing. We didn't go about doing any of, like, the normal things the way that it should be. Like I said, like, earlier, getting married, the proposal,
getting
together. I mean, it's just
been like
it's just been a roller coaster this entire time, and there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been spirals. I mean, but at the end of the day, we still ended up figuring it out, still getting back to where we should be.
Take me back to 2013 when you
met. So we actually met on this app. The dating app is called Jacked. But I guess it's more so for like hooking up. And honestly, the day we met, it was honestly supposed to be just like a hookup. We ended up like spending the night together, and so we actually like was watching a movie, and we were on the couch, and we were like laying next to each other, and he ended up like just falling asleep in my arms. And after that, we kind of just didn't leave each other's sides. We ended up spending like because he was in student housing. We went to the same school. We were going to the Art Institute. And he was in student housing. I had my own apartment, but I ended up because when I went to go see him at student housing. We ended up spending I think an entire week.
A week, 2 weeks.
Like a whole week or two together. After that, we just kind of
didn't really
leave each other's side. We've really honestly just been together this entire time, just
every day together.
Every day together for in the beginning when we met, we were together for a week. We went out, had a couple of dates, and yeah, but that was really, like I said, when we first met, it was really just supposed to be like a hookup. We ended up just spending time with each other.
After the third day, I said I loved him. So I just jumped.
Literally, the third day, he said I did. I did. But it had just slipped out. I remember the moment. It was just we were in the living room too, and I can't remember what it is I said, but I said something or I did something. And then all I heard was he kind of giggled and I said, "I love you." And then he was like kind of a little bit embarrassed after he said it. I said it back because honestly, I did feel the same way, and I mean, like being around him was different. It was different than most people, and I'm not the type of person to like just be around people like that. I'm a big loner, so like just the fact that I was able to like just be around him all the time was different, and I noticed the difference. And I guess for him was kind of the same way. I mean, I don't know, but here we are, 8 years later.
About to be 9.
About to be 8.
No, I thought 8 was last year.
8 is this year. 8 this year in October. It's 8 years.
What do you think is the biggest quality that made you fall in love with your partner?
The biggest quality would be his cooking. I mean,
that's probably when he told me he loved me. I think I had just cooked.
I think you were in the kitchen cooking.
I was in the living room. I think we had just ate though.
Ate something he cooked, and I was like, I love you. I think that was the biggest quality. I mean, it's other qualities, but his cooking is top tier, and I recommend.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like for him, I think with him is what made me fall in love with him is that like he is, like I said earlier, he could be a real big asshole, but at the end of the day, like he's very, very caring, very compassionate, very he will put someone else before himself. And he did that a lot in the beginning of our relationship. Like I was struggling when I first moved here. So was he. Now mind you, we're both college students, both struggling. But when it came down to me and my well-being, he would, and he still does this up to this day, he would still put himself before me. And he does it a lot, not just with me, he does it with people he cares about. And I would say that's one of the things that kind of keeps me around, is because I know that, not that he puts other people before himself, but the fact that he's compassionate and he does care a lot about people, and that in the long run helps. It kind of, if you look at the bad and the good outweighs the bad, and I've had to do that a couple of times within our relationship. Not a couple of times, I did that one time. There was a moment where we were in a really bad spot, and and honestly I had to like look at the pros and cons, the bad and the good, and which one outweighs the other. And the good does outweigh the bad when it comes to us. We have some bad memories, but we have a lot more good memories. No, I mean, it's really not anything like, honestly, what I will say is that I wouldn't say that we reinvent. I mean, that we've definitely like matured as two people. Because we were definitely
very childish
when we were younger.
Yeah.
Both of us. I mean, we both were.
Like now, like now we're like, I wouldn't say one with each other, but we're on the same page.
Yeah. We're a lot more on the same page. I mean, like back in 2013, we did. I would say that we did argue a lot. We don't argue as much because I mean,
we did everything and argued
about everything that I kind of like, and then we had to like realize that you had to pick and choose your battles. Honestly, some of the stuff that we did argue about was kind of just dumb, and we could have just honestly
had a conversation
about it.
So funny story. He was supposed to propose to me on my birthday, but COVID happened.
Yes.
And I was like super depressed, right?
Yeah, because Yeah,
But
because
you knew he was supposed to propose?
no, I told him afterwards.
I don't like surprises.
Because he doesn't like surprises, and this is why when we get to the whole like title thing, you'll see why. But yeah, I did intend on proposing to him on his birthday last year, in March. We were supposed to go to the High Museum and all that type of stuff. Like I planned it and everything, and like I said, COVID happened. Everywhere got shut down, so it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. So I ended up just like, I mean, we talked about it like a lot,
Yeah.
about getting married and stuff like that. So it's like, it's not that it wasn't expected that we were gonna get married. It's just I did at least want to propose. I mean, we had already talked about getting married and stuff like that. We already knew that we were gonna get married and all this type of stuff. But I wanted to at least have like a proposal, make him feel special, make him feel, just like our relationship isn't normal. And I wanted that one thing to be normal, for us. Because during like our relationship, a lot of things that people would, I guess heterosexual couples would do, we just didn't do. How we would go about doing certain things, and like I said, the whole marriage thing, that wasn't normal because we kind of just ended up getting married. We did go down to the courthouse and get married because, but we do want to have a ceremony
later on.
Yeah, we still want to do that, but like the whole like proposal and stuff like that, it wasn't normal. Like I said, we ended up going to get the rings together.
Supposed to go look at the
We're
ring.
supposed to go look.
And then I was like, I cannot leave Tiffany's without a ring, So we went to Tiffany's. Actually, the ring that I really wanted cost too much. My friend told me about Tiffany's, and I was like, oh, I just want to go look at it. Tried it on, fell in love with it. I was like, can't leave it. So I got both of them.
Yeah. So, we, like I said, we went in, it was just to go look. We ended up getting the rings, and I think, was it that same day that we had
We
went?
got the tattoos?
No, the day we had gotten married, did we go down to Tiffany's to look for the rings? It was after we went to the courthouse.
No. So it was after we went to the courthouse.
Yeah, so we went to the courthouse, and they said we're gonna go look at rings, and
So y'all got married first.
Yes, so we went, got the papers, we got married and stuff like that. I mean, we still haven't gotten it signed by like a judge yet, but I mean, we have our papers. It's there. We just have to do the ceremony, get like a judge to sign off on it and stuff like that. I guess technically we're not married.
I don't know.
But on the paper, both our names are there, and we have the marriage license. It's there. So in my head, we are married. But I don't know if that's technically not being married because it hasn't been, what's the word? Not certified, but
It's not official.
right.
In our hands, it's official.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Right.